Part of why I feel like language diversity is really important is because we actually base what we accept as a standardized English based on white supremacy. So once you start to unpack what we have decided is the language that we should all speak to be professional, you can unpack other things that are like really embedded in white supremacies. And I think that's what is really demonstrated really well in this book, Other People's Children by Lisa Delpit. This is kind of like a series of different authors and different ideas about the conflict in the classroom. And so when we talk about the conflict in the classroom, we're talking about the fact that students come to class with the language that they've learned at home. So their language is embedded in a lot of their identity. So before kids get to school, even if they get to school at 4 years old, at 5 years old, that language is embedded in love, it's embedded in conflict, it's embedded in just the way that they've learned to navigate the world in their first 5 years of life. So schools can either be accepting or non accepting of the student as a whole when they enter the classroom. So some of the things that a teacher could do is recognize first that that's how students come to school, and then work on just understanding students instead of correcting students. So first and foremost, that's why there's so many things in the beginning of a school year that's built on just getting the teacher to know and understand their students. I said her, but and the fact is most teachers are women because it's a white woman dominated field, and so there should be other diverse people that look into getting to into education, but that's a whole nother subject. But getting to understand their students so that their students can also have the opportunity to understand their teacher, like understand some of the class rules, understand like this is the learning space that we're creating together. And a lot of that again has to deal with teachers being accepting of the student as they show up to class. And so once you do that very first thing, then you can start to look at how there's other school principle or policies and principles that are also upholding the ideas of white supremacy.